Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Keto Fit Weight Loss Coaching for Women. I'm your coach, Jess, and I help women lose weight with a keto diet and a self-care mindset. Thanks for tuning in this morning, whether you're on IGTV with me or listening to the podcast later. I'm so appreciative that you're here. Please say hi if you're on live with me right now, and let me know if you have any questions as we go along. But I'm here with you this morning because I want to talk to you about eating keto on a budget. So we are 1 year in to this pandemic, and I know that a lot of people are really struggling. Oh, it's also February. Does anybody else feel like February is just the hardest month of the year? I feel like it's the most depressing month of the year. It's also the grief anniversary of my dad's death coming up here this week. So I know that a lot of people are really hurting right now too, from losing loved ones to COVID and or just other reasons. So it's kind of a hard time right now, right? I think that things are starting to look up, starting to get better, but I just want to let you know that I see you. I'm here with you. And I talk to a lot of women who are interested in changing their lives by eating a keto diet. One of the things that continues to come up is, I just don't know if I can afford it. You know, I talk to women who are interested in coaching but can't afford coaching. They're even concerned, isn't keto really expensive? Don't I have to eat a lot of expensive food and products and things like that? So I'm here this morning because I want to help you debunk that, to overcome that limiting belief, and to give you some really tactical tips and tricks to how you can actually eat keto on a budget, because it is possible. So we do need to see like a mindset shift sometimes, because we could know all the tools and all the tricks, but if we continue to hold that limiting belief of, I can't do this, my life is just not set up for this, maybe blaming our financial situation on other people, and legitimately, there are other people that are negatively impacting our financial situation sometimes. I totally understand that. But I want us to be able to enter this by saying, whatever I desire, I deserve. And that, I know so many people are feeling so much resistance to that even right now, right? Whatever I desire, I deserve. Okay, what kind of world are you living in? But I mean it. If you have the desire in your heart, I believe that God placed that there because it's meant for you. So you have a desire to lose weight, and it's not just to look hot or for some, fleeting, surface level reason, but it's because you feel like it's holding you back from the purpose that you have for your life. There are legitimate things that you desire in your heart, and your weight is holding you back from that. So I want to come alongside of you in that journey, whether you ever become a client with me or whether you just take advantage of my free resources. I'm so passionate about this because that's something that I experienced in my life as well. For a long time, I really struggled with being overweight, and I struggled with what that meant about my self-worth and what that meant about what I could and could not do. What that meant about, I'm just a feeling of unworthiness. Like, who am I to get up out here and start such and such a thing? Or everybody's going to judge me and think that I'm incapable because of the way that I look. So many talented, amazing, capable women are hiding because of their weight. You are an amazing success in so many other areas of your life, but you feel like a massive failure because of one area of your life, which is your weight. And I'm not here to tell you like, oh, forget about your weight, none of that matters. I want you to feel like the way that you look in your body matches who you really are. And I know what that's like, to hide and to feel like you look up by a mirror and you don't even recognize yourself. You feel like an alien in your body. I'm passionate about helping you to approach weight loss from a self-care mindset, not as a form of punishment, not as a form of looking at yourself with hatred and saying like, oh my God, get it together. What is your problem? Because haven't you tried that a million times and it doesn't work? So I'm here to help you approach weight loss from a journey of self-care and a journey of self-love. And it's okay if you don't feel love for yourself right now. Is anybody married? Have you ever, or do you have kids? Do you have like a roommate? You know you love this person, but at times you really don't like this person. You don't love everything about them. You can still treat a person with loving actions, even when you don't feel that love. And you can do that with yourself too. So, as promised, I'm here today to try to help you overcome this limiting belief of I can't afford to eat keto, or I can't afford to eat the way that I want to eat. So 15 tips and tricks that I want to get into with you guys this morning. And the first one is this. If you need free groceries, you can visit local food pantries or community gardens. And so obviously this is the cheapest way to eat however you want to eat, is to get free food, right? And I want to first of all say there's absolutely no shame. If you need free groceries, there's no shame in that. Please don't hold yourself back with just feeling like that's not meant for me, that's for people who have it worse than me or whatever. I have been on the giving end of food banks and food pantries, and I've been on the receiving end of food banks and food pantries. And I want you to know that absolutely everything that comes to you is coming to you from God, which is love. And so if you can open your heart to receive that love through the form of these free groceries, let that bless you. Don't let it feel like a punishment. Don't let it feel like I have to have this because I couldn't get myself together, or I have to have this because this other person is ruining my life, or whatever it might be. So open your heart to receive that as love. And in the spirit of that, whatever it is that you are receiving for free, don't feel like that you can't be choosy about it either. Like, oh, I just have to go through this food pantry and take whatever it is, whether, even if it's something that I don't really want to eat, it's not keto or it's not low carb or it's not whatever kind of way that I would want to eat ideally, I have to just take the scraps because I can't afford anything. No, that's the opposite of receiving it from a place of love. Receiving it from a place of love is saying, oh, look at this thing. It matches up with what I'm trying to do. Thank you. Not just saying like, well, let me just, take whatever I can get, even though it's not ideal. So receive that from a place of love. You can find a lot of great keto options at a food pantry or at a food bank. So canned vegetables are amazing. Low carb vegetables are like green beans, asparagus, canned meat. So you can do like canned tuna, canned chicken, even peanut butter is great low carb. So canned coconut milk, shelf-stable almond milk or soy milk, those can be low carb. Sometimes you can even find almond flour and coconut flour. These are all shelf-stable things, and these food pantries are getting these things from grocery stores. Even though they're like natural foods or more high-end items, they're available there, so just take a look around. Flax meal, nuts. So, and if you're going to go to a community garden, Google that. There's a lot of them nearby and it's completely free. So stick to the non-starchy above ground veggies like leafy greens and salad veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, but avoid starchy below ground things like carrots and potatoes and sweet potatoes and so forth. So that's tip number one, is if you need free groceries, visit local food pantries or community gardens. Tip number two, shop in places in bulk like Costco or Sam's. So I know that membership can feel like a hard hit, but do you have any other friends or family that you guys could split the membership? And that way you guys could always just go to the store together and kind of reap the benefits of, sharing together. Buy frozen or canned vegetables. That's number three. So you definitely don't need to have fresh vegetables to get all of the same nutrients and the low carb benefits of those things. So don't be afraid to buy things that are going to last you a long time. When it's something fresh, it's going to go bad quickly, and then you always feel guilty if you don't use it, and then you end up throwing it away. So definitely go ahead and buy frozen or canned vegetables. Number four would be to shop at a farmer's market. So you can get fresh in-season produce for way cheaper at a farmer's market, and not a lot of people might realize this, but they actually do take SNAP or food stamps. So you can use your SNAP card there as well. Number five, buy frozen berries instead of fresh. I actually prefer to do it this way because number one, you're not wasting it. And number two, they're always frozen at their sweetest taste. So it's always like you're eating in-season berries. So one thing that I like to do is take some frozen berries, put them in a bowl and microwave them for about a minute until they get a little bit hot, and you can kind of macerate them with a fork and then put some fresh whipped cream on top, and it tastes like you're eating pie without the pie. So try that. Number six, buy peanut butter instead of almond butter. So yeah, it's true that almonds are a little bit more low carb than peanuts. And definitely if you have a peanut allergy, go ahead and buy an alternative, but you don't have to be afraid of peanut butter. I know that some people are like, oh, peanuts are legumes and that's not keto. Okay, first of all, keto is not a yes or no foods list. Ketosis is a metabolic state. So as long as you're restricting your carbs low enough to get your body into a state of ketosis, please stop demonizing certain foods. You know, again, if you have a peanut allergy, go ahead and avoid those, but peanut butter can be a lot cheaper than almond butter, cashew butter, coconut butter, all of these other, you know, things that are out on the market. So if you get the unsweetened peanut butter, it's usually a good low carb peanut butter that's unsweetened, or almond butter that's unsweetened, is about 4 net carbs or less. So don't be afraid to just go for the peanut butter. It's way cheaper. Number 7, eggs are usually way less expensive than meat and are a fantastic protein source. So eggs are cheaper. You know, turn it into any meal of the day. Kids love breakfast dinner. I probably make breakfast dinner about once a week, and eggs are just like the perfect keto food. They're loaded with choline. They've got protein and healthy fat, so it's perfect for a ketogenic diet. Go for those eggs. And, you know, I actually had somebody recently say something to me like, is it okay if I eat 2 eggs in one sitting? Or like, how many eggs can I eat per day? And I'm like, girl, I eat 4 eggs in one sitting. So eggs are amazing. Definitely go for it. And they're so cheap. All right, number 8, buy a whole chicken instead of just the pieces, and then use everything to make casseroles and soups. So a lot of these are just things that you probably learned from your mom or your grandma as ways to just be frugal and make use of everything. So yeah, definitely it's cheaper to buy the whole chicken. All right, number 9, buy the cheaper cuts of meat like dark meat or organ meats. And actually, this is perfect for keto because usually dark meat or organ meats that are cheaper, they have a lot of higher natural fat content and they're way more satiating, which means that you can eat less of it and feel fuller for longer. So, you know, we kind of went through the whole low fat craze for a while and everybody was like boneless, skinless chicken breasts. But, you know, I like dark meat way better. It just tastes better. So at Thanksgiving, my husband and I are perfect because he's all about the turkey breast and I'm all about the dark meat. So we're good to go. But yeah, it's cheaper to get the dark meat, and definitely don't feel any guilt doing that because it's actually very great for a keto diet. Number 10, along with getting cheaper meat, look in the discounted meat section of the grocery store. So there's usually like on the back wall where they have all of the meats, there's like a small like manager's special section, and you can just clean up by stocking up on whatever's about to expire the next day. You know, just throw it in your freezer. You don't have to use it that day. And that's a great way to get meat for like 50% off, sometimes even more than that. Number 11, skip the organic, grass-fed, free-range stuff. So I'm here to tell you that it's okay. We should all just eat the best quality food that we can afford. And when you're doing that, no matter what it is that you can afford, you should feel great about making the best choice that you can and realize that this is just a season. And baby steps, you know, we can start to get really overwhelmed with like, okay, I gotta eat not only keto, but I gotta eat clean, and I don't wanna be dirty keto, or I don't wanna be lazy keto. You know what? I actually hate these words, dirty keto and lazy keto, because it's so insulting to people who are actually really trying to change their health by eating keto or eating low carb, and they're being so intentional and they're doing the best that they can. And then you read a word like dirty keto and you're like, what the heck, you know? So, ketosis is a metabolic state. You are going to do yourself a huge favor if you can just restrict your carbohydrates to the point where you're actually burning ketones for fuel. You're going to tap into your stored body fat. You're going to be losing weight. And you can do this when you're eating, you know, ribeyes from the Dollar Tree, or, you know, grass-fed, organic, free-range ribeyes from Butcher Box. Same nutritional value, same vitamins and minerals, same protein content. And of course, is it better for you to eat things that don't have, you know, chemicals and antibiotics and were force-fed? Absolutely. But please don't feel guilty when you're doing the best that you can afford to do. So skip the organic, grass-fed, and free-range, and that includes vegetables too. If you're not able to eat organic vegetables, please stop beating yourself up. Stop feeling bad. You know, if you can, go for the dirty dozen. Just Google that and I'll show you, you know, the 12 top fruits and vegetables that you should buy organic if you can, to avoid the pesticides. But please don't feel guilty. You're doing the best that you can do. All right, number 12, don't waste your money on keto products. Oh, I'm so passionate about this one. When I first started eating keto, it was 2013, and really the only keto products that were available were Atkins products. So Atkins shakes, Atkins candies, And then I guess probably the sugar-free candy section at whatever, drugstore you're gonna do, like the Russell Stover stuff. But oh my gosh, don't eat that stuff. You will be on the toilet. Let me save you, friends, from doing that. So, because I did it. So never again, don't do that. But I'm actually really glad that when I started eating keto that I didn't have all of these plethora of products available to me, because it can be so confusing. And I work with clients all the time who get really tripped up on these things. That's the first thing that I say to let go of when you're stalling out. Because these products that are marketed to you as keto, of course, they're going to advertise to you the net carb count, which would be the total carbs minus the fiber and then minus any sugar alcohols, which is a sweetener that a lot of keto products use, because supposedly it doesn't have any impact on your blood sugar. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not always true for every single person. There are some special unicorn people that just get to eat all of the sugar alcohols. They don't have any digestive problems and they just lose weight like a champ. Usually men. My husband is this way and I'm just so jealous of him. My stomach, how they say some people have a stomach like a steel trap? My stomach is the polar opposite of that. So my stomach gets so upset from all of these sugar alcohols anyway. But also, they have done studies on these things, and people wear a continuous glucose monitor in their arm, which measures your blood sugar after you eat it. And a lot of keto sweeteners that say that they don't have a blood sugar impact, they actually do. So a lot of people can even have an insulin response just from the taste of sweetness in their mouth. So I'm not telling you to avoid those things, but I am telling you that your mileage may vary. And so if you can't afford keto products, you do not need them. And in fact, you're probably doing yourself a favor to just eat real food. All of these things, I call them chemical shitstorms, basically, because who knows what's in them? It's made in a factory. It's not real food. And all of us, no matter how you eat, vegan, paleo, ancestral, of any kind, you're gonna do yourself a favor to mainly eat real food, meaning did it have a face at some point? Did it grow out of the ground at some point? And it doesn't mean that you're never going to have anything that tastes good. You can make your own treats at home. So save your money, skip the keto products, look up recipes that you can make. Check out my Instagram or my Facebook. I like to post a lot of recipes too and keep it super easy and time efficient too. Single serving so I don't overdo it. Check out some of those recipes. So yeah, don't waste your money on keto products. Number 13, menu plan and meal prep ahead of time. So basically, if you know what you're going to eat that week, then you can just focus on buying that and not buy food that's going to end up going to waste. So if you have a plan, you'll do a lot better at not wasting food. And then actually, if you have a plan and you write something down, you're actually 42% more likely to do it. Did you know that? So meal plan, meal prep if you can. I know that some personality types feel really constrained and trapped by that. And they're just ugh, as soon as you made the plan, you're like, okay, now I don't want to eat that thing. So instead of meal prepping, just do food prep. So basically go in, buy all of your, low carb veggies, chop them up ahead of time, have them in the fridge, cook up some chicken, cook up some, pork or whatever it might be, and just don't season it, really specifically, but just have it, make some garlic and salt and pepper, throw it in your fridge. And that way you don't have your specific meals planned out, but you have all of the foods available to you that you're going to eat that week. And then you can decide, do I want to turn this into Mexican? Do I want to turn this into Italian? And that way you can still have some spontaneity and not feel stuck or trapped, but you can still make meal planning or at least food prep work for you. All right, number 14, cook in bulk and freeze your leftovers. So does anybody else just not really enjoy cooking super much? That's okay. Me too. And I like to make my time work for me really in all areas of life. So one of the best things that you can do for time efficiency is batching things together. So, in your business, do all of these tasks on the same day and then switch gears and go into a different type of task orientation. So, that's called batching your time or batching your tasks. So same thing, we're going to do this with cooking. Why would I devote 30 minutes to cooking one meal when I could actually spend the same amount of time and cook 3 meals? So just make it much bigger, make the portion size bigger, and then freeze it. And you've done yourself a huge favor. And you probably will save money because that way, don't just put the leftovers in the fridge, put them in the freezer. Have you ever done that where you put something in the fridge and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to eat this 2 days later, or I'm going to eat this 3 times this week, and then you don't because you don't want to? So if it's in the freezer, then you can actually just defrost it when you actually do feel like eating that meal again. All right, and the last tip for eating keto on a budget is going to sound like a funny one, but it's skip a meal. So the best way to save money on food is to not have spent any money on that particular meal because you skipped it. And I am not advocating, forcing yourself to not eat as a way of losing weight or as a way of saving money. But I am a big fan of intermittent fasting. And this is actually a lot easier to do when you're on a ketogenic diet. I would say don't start this at first. Don't start keto next week and say, I'm going to do intermittent fasting and keto, boom, right at the same time. Let the magic of keto start to work for you, and your appetite will naturally suppress and your cravings will dissipate, and you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be like, I'm really not that hungry for breakfast. Why not just skip it? And then you've saved money on breakfast. Or you're ready to eat breakfast around, 10 instead of around 6, and you're going to eat those bacon and eggs at 10, and then lunchtime's going to roll around and you're going to think like, well, I could eat, but I'm really not that hungry. Skip lunch, go till dinner time. So your body takes about 2 to 3 hours to digest the meal that you just ate and for your blood sugar to restabilize. So if you can go longer than 3 hours, like let's stretch it out to 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, during that time, your body goes into a fasted state. And when you need energy for fuel, it starts to tap into your fat storage in your body. And that's how you're actually losing weight. So that's why it's great to actually go ahead and go longer between meals and not feel bad about that. Listen to your body. If you're not hungry, it's okay to not eat. All right, so that's been 15 tips for you guys on how you can eat keto on a budget. I hope that some of these have been really tactical, tangible, and that you're able to take away at least a few and start to implement that. So again, my name is Jess, and I am a solopreneur. I started my own coaching business, helping women lose weight with a keto diet and a self-care mindset. Keto has completely changed my life and just really allowed me to get some mental clarity. That's one of the huge benefits of keto, by the way. Your body, your brain runs better on ketones for fuel than glucose for fuel. So like a lot of people that aren't even trying to lose weight, like all of these, biohackers and just really creative people that live in Silicon Valley, like they do keto just for the brain benefits of it. So I can't even begin to tell you how much not only the weight loss, but the brain benefits have transformed my life and kind of took the edge off of some of my depression and anxiety that allowed me to do a lot of inner work on my own mindset. And so it didn't take me very long to just have this dream in my heart of what if I could become a coach for women that not only am I helping them lose weight with a keto diet, but also helping them work through some of these, limiting beliefs that I was able to overcome and really transform my life in all areas of my life, not just in my weight or how I felt about my body. So that's what I've created, and that's what I have, educated myself to be able to do. I do have my nutrition training from the American Nutrition Association in ketogenic nutrition, but I also have my master's in life coaching, and I'm a certified coach with the International Coaching Federation, which is basically the gold standard in coaching. And it's something that I've really dedicated the last 7+ years of my life to doing because I want to spread this amazingness. Like when I first discovered keto, I was like, I have found the secret of life. Like, why doesn't anybody know about this? And so now a lot of people do know about it. I'm so glad that it's becoming a lot more mainstream, and I want to make it really accessible for you. So if you're tuning into this today and you've been curious about, okay, like I am on a tight budget. I do need to figure out a way that I can make keto work for me in an affordable way. You might be thinking, well, I'm interested in coaching, but I could probably never afford it. And so, we've got some great opportunities coming up here. I just got my tax return last night. I don't know about you, but it's tax return season, and also probably, maybe, God willing, another stimulus will be coming out soon. And so I just want to get your wheels turning. If working with a coach, if what I've been talking about, not just the tactical and tangible strategies that you can follow to lose weight, but also doing some of this mindset work. If that's something that's interesting to you, and okay, I've got my stimulus coming soon, I've got my tax return coming soon, why not, don't save it, don't spend it on something that's not going to last forever or whatever. But if you want to consider investing that in yourself, my coaching program is 5 weeks long, and I really believe that it can change your life. And I would love to work with you. I would love to just spend 5 weeks with you and during that time teach you everything that you do need to know to be successful on a keto diet, short-term and long-term, but also do some of this mindset work, giving you assessments and fun activities and ways to just get to know yourself better that will really unlock your motivation long-term. And I'm not here trying to get you stuck, stuck with me forever or reliant on some kind of a product that I offer or whatever. Like, I want you to become equipped and independent to succeed on your own long-term. And so, and I believe that's what a good coach does. So that's what I'm here to do. So whether you work with me just for those 5 weeks using, that, once a year opportunity that you get with your tax return, that would be amazing. I would love to work with you. And if you want to work, longer term than that, I do have extension options as well. But I just wanted to share a little bit with you about what I offer. And if you're interested, I want to let you know how you can reach me. So you can email me, theketofit@gmail.com. You can send me a direct message on either Instagram or Facebook. I am at theketofit. And then also, if you want to just go ahead and sign up for my free curiosity call right now, you can go to bit.ly/free curiosity call. And it's completely free. It's about 20 to 30 minutes. And we'll just have a chance to get to know each other. And whether you decide to move forward with coaching or not, advice is always free. I am giving out free advice about keto, what are macros, all these things that can seem so confusing and overwhelming. I would just love the opportunity to talk to you completely free on a free curiosity call, 20 or 30 minutes. So sign up today. Thank you again so much for tuning in with me. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll be back again with you next Wednesday. So I'm going to be live every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. I hope you can join me. Take care, everybody.